Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar on CNBC-TV18. Let's talk about a corporate conversation. Rajesh Aggarwal, who is the Managing Director at Insecticides India, is joining us now to discuss the big update that has come by. India has become the third largest exporter of agrochemicals. So what is the path ahead when it comes to agrochem exports, export opportunities in the US, and outlook on capex and financials as well? Mr. Aggarwal, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, $3.3 billion in terms of exports for now for the agrochemical industry in FY25. Can you give us a sense of, is it largely volume-led or there has been some pricing improvement as well? And which are the segments or the geographies which are leading this growth that we are seeing in terms of exports?
India exports to the entire world. So all the countries, particularly the USA, America, South America, North America, Europe, Africa, ASEAN countries, even CIS, everybody imports from India. The things change because certain countries are the countries which import the basic technicals. So there are countries like South American countries, America, also some parts of Europe, and then CIS sometimes, and some Asian countries. Others prefer to take white labeling. So both of the businesses are flourishing. So the maximum business which takes place for export is, I would say, the CRAMS type of business where you are making the technicals for some of the companies and they are consuming it in their countries by making the formulations.
Right. Just one quick clarification. You did mention that, as a country, we do export to the US market. Now, amidst the headwinds of tariffs, what we want to understand is, number one, are agrochemicals largely exempt from tariffs, or is it just particular segments? And India versus China, what is the differential? And for insecticides, we understand the total top-line contribution of tariffs is around 5%. What can that go up to?
Okay, so let me come to the broader markets. When you are supplying to the other countries, yes, you have to compete with India. But now companies are looking at China plus one policy. Under that strategy, they are ready to pay if your quality is better, a little extra. You can get, and sometimes you also get the freight advantage because freight from China and freight from India is little different, because whenever the freight prices goes up, India gets the advantage being the better placed country in the center of the sea. So you are able to compete, and then you are exporting. And then this is a restricted industry. When I say restricted, because you have to register your product in every country. So that is the challenge, not only with the Indian company, but also with the Chinese company. So if the product is registered into the country, then only it can go. So you have the fight with the registered players and generally not with the unregistered players. So you get the opportunity. So these type of opportunities are everywhere. Talking about insecticide India, yes, our contribution in the international business is quite low, but we are working with our partners, particularly the Japanese partner, to open up the export window, not only for Japan, but for some other countries also. And we are also bagging a lot of registrations in South American markets. We are focusing on Europe, we are focusing on Asia, Africa. So our focus is all around. Though, again, I would say that the total contribution of international business to my company is just 5%, but I see it growing in the passage of time. And this year itself, we are going.
Yes. How much will it grow to, Mr. Aggarwal? It's 5% currently. When do you reach that double-digit mark? And when you say registrations are the big, I would say, compliance point for reaching that export markets, how much do you have to spend on a registration? Is it a costly affair overall?
Yeah, definitely. That is the cost which goes into crores per product. So you have to invest that amount and be prepared for everything. And then it takes a lot of time. So there are two types of data. One is the toxicology and chemistry data, which you have to generate in your country. And then there is additional bioefficacy data, which is generated in the country where you are exporting. So when both the data become okay and you are granted a registration, then only you can do it. So some countries take 1 to 2 years, other countries take 4 to 5 years. So that is quite common for our sector. So it's a tedious process, and we have been pursuing our registrations for several years in many countries, and we are bagging more and more registrations. So which makes me quite hopeful that international business will be going up for me. And I can say in 2 to 3 years, we should be in double digit.
So in 2 to 3 years, international growth will catch up and will become close to double digit as far as your top line contribution is concerned. That's what you're guiding us to. Okay. So let's now focus on the domestic market. especially when you're looking at Q2. This time around, we actually had an early monsoon. In the last year, in the base year, you actually had the monsoon that was quite late. So Q2 last year was quite strong. So on a year-on-year basis, will you see some amount of softness? Number two, what has been the impact of floods as far as demand is concerned?
Yeah, unfortunately, there has been good monsoon, but monsoon is quite erratic since last 2-3 years. So last year also it was impacted. This year we had an initial dry spell, and then it was a wet period, very long wet period, which has impacted the companies. But again, it's the dry spell, which is good for the industry, and we are getting the opportunity. So I believe that Q2 is going to be a positive quarter, though the growth will be quite limited, but still, I believe that we'll be able to repeat the performance of Q1. Again, I would like to say that quarterly performance is important because of market's perspective, but it is the overall idea and the planning of the company, how the company is heading in 1 year, 2 years time, what are the plans. So we are on the path of expansion where we are launching new AIs, also launching new products, and our vision is that we shall be growing year on year at a good speed with improving the profitability of the company, because we are working a lot on the premium products and introducing of new technologies. We are increasing our capacities for the technical manufacturing as well as formulation manufacturing. And today also I'm sitting at my site, which is a new site at Sotanala, and the work is in progress. So you'll find me a little shabby because a lot of construction is going.
I was just going to ask you on that. You're talking about that new facility that you're at. When is it commissioning properly? What will the initial capacity utilization be? And when does the new Dahej plant reach that maximum capacity as well?
Dahej plant is almost in the final stages. So it has started production also, but post Diwali, I can say in the Q1, it should be in full capacity of production. And talking about the Sotanala, we have a target that when I said Q1 for Dahej means January, Q4. For Sotanala, we have to start the formulations for the Kharif season, which means we should be somewhere in the Q1, we should start production of formulation. First year will not be 100%, of course, but I can imagine that 50, 60, 70%, up to 60 to 70% utilization we should be able to do in year one itself. Regarding the technical, the target is again to complete the technical synthesis plant within this next fiscal year. So we would like to start some production in the next fiscal year from the technical plant, though the real benefit is going to come in 27.
Okay, Mr. Aggarwal, thank you so much for joining us. You spoke to us about the export opportunity, the growth that you're seeing there, the domestic opportunity, as well as the new facilities that are ramping up. Well, we now slip into a short break. Up next, we will get an exclusive conversation from JK Tyre's Chennai plant. Stay tuned.